have you. What a waste. And stay down.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。いらっしゃいませ。ありがとう。
何見てる？What a waste. Really, guys? I need to... Let's go. And stay down. For real? Really, guys? A name, huh? Stay safe. And stay down. Really, guys? Waste.
Alright, y'all, let's get the show started. Let's go to Yokohama 99 and see what this guy has to say.
Hey, welcome back.
Alrighty, we made it to
Good to see
Yokohama
you,
99.
Yagami-shi. How'd things go at school?
The chairman told the entire student body about Sawa-sensei at an assembly. Everyone's pretty shaken up.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. I gave the yearbook I took from her room yesterday to Tsukumo. Why don't you check it out later, Yagami-san?
I still can't wrap my head around what I saw last night. We have to avenge Sawa-sensei. Right, Tak?
We've been waiting for you, Yagami-shi. Let's plan our next moves. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
While in a meeting yesterday, Sawa-sensei received a call that her apartment was broken into, prompting her to go home. Judging from the events that followed, RK must have called her using the apartment manager's name. And that's how they got to Sawa-sensei.
But RK wasn't after Sawa-sensei. They were actually after Kuwana, weren't they?
Yeah, Akutsu and Soma both said so. I think Sawa-sensei was used to lure Kuwana out.
Why would Sawa-sensei be bait to draw out Kuwana? How the hell are those two connected?
That too, but why is RK even after Kuwana-san? Thugs from Kamurocho want a handyman in Ijincho?
Right. There's still a lot we don't know. We need to find Kuwana before RK does and get some answers out of him. Kuwana isn't even his real name. Apparently it's Kitakata. RK didn't seem to be familiar with the name Kuwana. Truth is, we don't know anything about Kuwana. All we know is that he's a handyman in Ijincho.
I haven't been able to contact Kuwana-san since yesterday, but I left a message asking him to reply.
Where's the office for his handyman business?
He ran his whole operation from a cell phone. Not even his business card lists an address. Oh yeah, Kaito-san. Didn't you call up all the places we went drinking? Did you find out where he lives?
Yep, just found out. Looks like Kuwana lives in some kind of prefab shack off West Central Street. Sounds like pretty shitty conditions for a guy charging up the ass for his time.
Well, if we know that much, we might as well go take a look.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Tsukumo, we'll talk more later.
You never slow down, Yagamishi.
Let's hit it.
Sounds like it's about to get real.
Okay, so let's go check out Kuwana's apartment. Oh yeah, so this is the guy that was the handyman that I was telling you about. Kuwana is he's a very interesting guy because of whatever his interest is. But he has a part. He's one of the alibis, I can tell you.
Is this Kuwana's place?
Yeah, I think so.
Guess it's kind of fitting for an unlicensed handyman. Huh?
What is it?
The door's been forced open. Maybe with a crowbar or something.
If anyone was in here before us, it had to have been RK. Aside from us, they're the only ones after him.
That means they're already a few steps ahead of us.
RK's got the numbers behind him. We can't beat him to the punch every time.
I don't think Kuwana's been back since last night. He probably caught on that he's a wanted man. He might not even be in Ijincho anymore.
Then what do we do here?
His real name's supposedly Kitakata. I want to know who he really is and why he used a fake name. That'll make his connection to Sawa-sensei clearer.
So you want to find clues that point to his true identity?
Took the words right out of my mouth, Kaito-san. Hey, cigarettes. Are these Kuwana's?
I don't think so. Pretty sure he's been vaping. But maybe he craved the real deal every now and then.
Yeah, people do smoke both, depending on the situation. Suspicious. Is this a computer power cable? There's a mouse here, too.
There was a laptop here. RK must have taken it. There's probably a treasure trove of info on it.
Then RK's got anything of value out of this place already.
Come on, don't be emo.
What the? Uh-huh. Suspicious.
They made one hell of a mess in here. Bet they had no clue what they were doing. Looks like they just wanted to trash the place.
Yep, pretty much screams RK. Nothing more than a bunch of punks. Hey. What the? Leftovers from a ramen cup. Would it have killed him to clean up a bit? I'm starting to think this place was a dump even before it got ransacked. Hey.
Kuwana mentioned his ties to the underground. But I get the feeling this kind of work was his bread and butter.
Collecting junk, walking pets, fixing pipes, taking any odd job that comes his way. Not so different from us. A handyman, a detective. It's two sides of the same coin. What the? Suspicious. Suspicious. Uh-huh. Cigarettes.
I don't think so. But maybe he craved the real deal every now and then.
Yeah, people do smoke both, depend.
I like Lost Judgment a lot. It's a fun game.
It is. Yeah, it's one of my favorites right now. We're trying to look for clues about this guy here. Oh.
An ashtray. Huh. That's weird.
What?
With all the gross garbage in here, this ashtray is oddly empty.
Think so?
Suspicious.
I mean, yeah, it's clean and all, but so what? Could just be freshly emptied.
Except it hasn't been washed, or even used in a while. See the layer of dust on it?
Okay, and? You think a dusty ashtray is gonna get us Kuwana's identity?
Maybe. Or maybe it's nothing.
Appreciate the sub, appreciate it. Glad you could do that.
Yo, hold up, Todd. We don't have enough on Kuwana to go after it. You sure you want to go back empty-handed?
I feel like I checked everything worth looking at.
Well, maybe there's more to something you looked at already. Besides, where else are we gonna find dirt on Kuwana if we leave?
some more intel.
I'm trying to see where. I'm trying to think where would be. Want something I could use.
What the?
Oh, there's a bin here. Oh. Okay, so buckets. The stove, the printer.
What the? These cigarettes. There's something about them. Koana usually smokes e-cigarettes. The ashtray looks virtually unused.
What are you getting at?
I don't think Koana's smoking these cigarettes.
Then why keep what you don't smoke?
See? We gotta be more thorough.
True, I can just play Lost Judgment over and over again, but I play some other games too.
Hey. Hey, look at this lighter.
What now? Whoa.
Oh, it's a
USB
USB
memory
drive?
stick
What the hell?
disguised as a lighter.
Damn. Did you just hit the jackpot or what? That has to be important if Kuwana was hiding it like this.
What matters is the data on it. We'd be able to check it now if we had a computer.
Then why don't we head back to Tsukumo's?
Nice.
Damn. Looks like we finished up that. Let's see what we're on next.
Oh, it got dark. Huh? What's the matter, Talk?
Looks like a meet and greet.
Oh, yeah? Think they're RK?
Well, they're the only ones looking for Koana other than us, right?
Don't see Soma or Akutsu, though. They sent the fucking B team.
How many
Probably
times
for the
have you
best.
played Lost Judgment?
Soma was here? I don't think I can
This
see.
is gonna be my second time playing it. I played it once off
Yeah,
stream, but I'm
me
doing it.
neither.
I'm doing the second time on stream. So
Which one of you is gonna talk? Where are Soma and Akutsu?
There's no point talking to a dead man.
Uh-huh. Well, if that's how you're gonna play it, then we're not holding back either.
Hey!
Where are Soma and Akutsu? I want to talk to them.
We can't contact them. I swear. They're the ones who contact us. It's always been like that.
Figured as much. most of the arcade crew are just chumps.
Yeah. I bet even Soma is just another piece on the board, taking orders from the real mastermind. Thugs don't work gigs that don't pay. Yet they came to Ijincho, outside their turf, to commit murder.
That's true. Sounds like someone's funding them. Must be some generous perks.
Definitely. Otherwise, Soma and the others wouldn't be causing so much chaos over here.
Then, who's the one pulling RK's strings?
I don't know who it is, but I know what he's trying to do.
Which is?
Catch Kuwana. RK's just following orders. Sawa-sensei was probably collateral damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shit. I swear I'm gonna drag this bastard out on his ass.
If we keep looking for Kuwana, we'll run into the one behind this all eventually. And this could be our first clue.
Then we'd better get back to Tsukumo's.
What's going on out here? Are you friends of Kuwana-san's?
Yeah, we are.
And those gentlemen on the ground?
Those guys? Oh, yeah, they're just wasted. Little nap and they'll head right on home.
Ah, I see. Well, that's just fine.
Excuse me, but you know Kuwana, don't you?
Sure. I mean, he's lived next door for the last 10 years. He's a handyman. Anytime we were short-handed, he'd come by and help us out. We'd pay him with our daily special.
I haven't heard from Kuwana since last night. Do you happen to know any places he visits often?
Let's see. He has an uncle that took him in when he first came to Yokohama. Called him a distant relative or something. He's an ex-Yakuza running a bar since he got out of the game. Apparently, this uncle is how he started getting gigs around town.
What did Kuwana do before he became a handyman?
Beats me. Maybe some kind of corporate job? I don't think I've ever asked.
Where can we find Kuwana's uncle's bar?
Oh, the bar's called Siren. It's over in Chinatown. I've been there 2 or 3 times myself. The owner's a real nice guy. Hard to tell he was ever a Yakuza.
Then we better get over there too. Can't afford to fall behind RK again. Let's hurry.
Thanks for everything. And sorry for bothering you.
Oh, don't mention it.
Let's roll, Talk.
Kuwana-san first arrived here over 10 years ago. The owner of Siren introduced him to practically everyone in town.
Sweet ass beating, face blue smiling.
That's funny. Alright, let's see. I got the sushi set. I should be able to use that. For the boss fight coming up. Yeah. Alright, so Siren's in Chinatown. Let's go to Chinatown.
Too fast. Let's roll, Talk. Siren. This is it, Talk. This is the bar Kuwana's relative runs.
Hello? Anybody here?
This place empty too?
It's definitely messy in here, but it wasn't exactly ransacked.
Yeah, more like someone had to skip town in a hurry.
Did the owner already make a break for it then?
Be smart if he did. What with RK about to come hunt down Kuwana and all. Let's roll, Talk.
I think this was the boss
The name
fight
of this
that you
place was
saw.
Siren, wasn't it?
Classic, right?
Huh?
You saw somebody
Yeah.
else do it? Well, you're about to see me do it.
Hi. You've reached Siren? Soma.
That was well played. How silly of me. This pretty little thing is for women.
Kaito-san!
Have I told you what RK stands for yet?
Kaito-san!
It's Red Knife.
Son of a... Soma!
The owner must have smelled trouble coming. He took off before I could find him.
Tell me,
I can
why
recall
did you
this
kill
part.
Sawa-sensei?
That's right, because that's one of the boss fights I was telling you about. But you're about to see me do it since you saw somebody else do it. This guy is a one hell of a character. To be one heck of a leader too of this Red Knife clan, apparently.
I'm afraid she knew too much. And that's all.
And that's all.
You're in the same boat. We can't afford to ignore you anymore.
And you already made a mistake. You didn't kill me when you could have.
I'll own up to that. Akutsu wasn't equipped to handle the task.
Well then, now you'll pay the price for it.
Will I? Kaito's down and you're by yourself. Should be easy.
Anything else up your sleeve?
https://linktr.ee/bxmpzi_platinum.
Show me what you've got. What's wrong? Come on! Show me what you've got. Anything else up your sleeve? Come on!
Show me what you've got.
I'm right here!
Show me what you've got.
Anything else up your sleeve? I'm right here! Anything else up your sleeve?
Kazuzuki Soma.
You got this. You got this.
Alright, bet.
Anything else up your sleeve?
Alright, that's the first layer of body armor. I think it is. Yeah.
Anything else up your sleeve? Come on! Anything else up your sleeve?
Show me what you've got. Show me what you've got. Well, you're scrappy, aren't you? Impressive. Maybe I should have prioritized stabbing you over Kaito. You're kind of struggling to stand, aren't you? Give it a second. That kick went to your temple. I'm sure your head is spinning. Trying to rush it will only make it worse. Incidentally, Sawa-sensei didn't suffer long like you will.
What the hell?
Whoever that is has terrible timing.
What the hell are you doing in my bar?
Hello? Is this the owner?
Yes. Kuwana-kun warned me you'd show up. I decided I'd get out of there before you did. Don't expect that I'll ever come back either.
All I wanted with Kuwana-san was to have a little chat. No need to go running for your lives now.
Spare me the lies. I already know you broke into a young woman's home and killed her. Come on. You wouldn't even hesitate on an old man in his 70s. Pass the phone to Yagami-san, please. Otherwise, I'm calling the cops over there.
What could you possibly want with him?
Quit stalling and give him the phone. Unless you'd rather I push a button and call the cops. I'm done talking to you.
The owner of the bar would like a word with you.
Sorry, but this'll have to wait. Can you get an ambulance over to your bar right away? My partner took a knife to his abdomen.
What?
Please, you have to hurry. Hello?
Your partner is in good hands now. Just as you asked. I'm watching you as we speak. Oh, and don't bother looking for me. I won't be meeting you there. Instead, there's a karaoke bar called Survive. Heard of it? You'll find it in the entertainment district along the river. Safest bar in town.
I only showed up at your bar so I could ask you about Kuwana. Does this mean you want something in return?
We'll get that sorted out. If you promise to meet me alone. No, I won't be at Survive for long. If you don't make it in 10 minutes, you'll never hear from me again.
That's one way to motivate someone.
Clock's ticking, by the way.
So, Survive in the entertainment district?
Correct.
See you soon.
It better be.
Apologies for the wait. Let's go.
Kuwana is pursued by RK, the crime ring running Kamurocho. Determined to prevent any more deaths, Yagami searches high and low for the handyman, but the search leads to a maze of dead ends. As the situation becomes dire, a lifeline appears at the other end of a phone. The caller offers a lead, one that expires too quick for comfort.
I only showed up at your bar so I could ask you about Kuwana. Does this mean you want something in return?
We'll get that sorted out. If you promise to meet me alone. No, I won't be at Survive for long. If you don't make it in 10 minutes, you'll never hear from me again.
this all day.
Alright, yeah, it's I enjoy watching it too. Like watching other people do it as well. I'll be looking for some good storyline games to stream and stuff.
It's appealing, agreed. Games do you play than Lost Judgment?
I play Siege. I play Rocket League every now and then. What else? Just those two, and then whatever storyline game you guys want to see, I would stream. I don't mind playing different games. It's actually pretty cool.
Yagami-san, glad you could make it.
You the owner of Siren?
Yeah. Let's take this to the bar. Follow me. So, I hear you're a Kamurocho.
One day you gotta play one of my favorite storyline platformers.
I don't mind.
Can I ask your name?
If it's on console, I'll
No
play it.
need. This'll be the only time we meet. But to Kuwana-kun, I guess you'd call me his uncle-in-law. Everyone's got a dumbass uncle in the family. And that's me. After all, I'm ex-Yakuza.
Based in Yokohama?
Yeah, the Seiryu clan. After I got out, I looked after the shop for 20 years. Till today.
You mean Siren, right? What'll happen to it once you've skipped town?
None of your concern.
Fair enough.
Guess you detective types can't help but ask questions.
So you two are related. I noticed you didn't mention...
Yes, Abe's Odyssey is console, and it's a great little platform puzzle game with a great story. Do you play Fortnite?
I played it once, but I don't have space for it, so I can't play Fortnite. But yeah, if I did, I probably would. I'm gonna go with this one.
His real name's Kitakata. At least that's what the Kamurocho thugs called him.
You're trying to see if I'll give up his name. That's not why I'm here.
Okay. Why did you call me exactly?
Well, you see, Kuwana-kun wanted me to stop by his office and grab something for him.
Such as?
A pack of cigarettes with a
Sub
lighter.
to the channel road to 1K subs. We're on the grind for the watch time also.
Don't you mean a USB stick made to look like a lighter? Let's not beat around the bush here.
See, I figured you'd grabbed it.
So of all things, Kawana wanted you to pick this up?
Yes. And he prefers to keep that content private. So, if you could just hand that over.
Now I'm curious. Care to tell me what's on here?
Would you hand it over if I did?
No. I'd still need to confirm you told the truth.
Can't you tell Kuwana-kun's backed into a corner here? Asking an old man to help was his only choice. Let's be honest. I couldn't take that thing from you if I wanted to. All I can do is appeal to your sense of decency.
Well, I've got to say, that's more persuasive than threats ever would be. But if you really want me to give this up, at least let me see Kuwana.
I'd consider that, but he's already long gone. He was ready to cut out at the drop of a hat.
If that's the case, unfortunately, I'll need to hold on to this. A high school teacher was killed by the thugs that went after Kuwana. Her name was Yoko Sawa, a young woman dedicated to her career. I had met her while investigating the murder of a student teacher. But while trying to get her side of the story, I ended up running into Kuwana outside her apartment. Do you know anything about this woman?
I don't.
You're really drawing a blank? You don't know anything about criminals coming all the way from Kamurocho just to get at Kuwana? Do you at least know how they're connected to Sawa-sensei?
Again, that's a negative.
And this flash drive's my only concrete lead? If it's so important to Kuwana, he should have come himself, rather than send a middleman.
Don't be so hard on him. I'm the one who taught him all his tricks.
Are you saying Kuwana's ex-Yakuza too?
Nah, he was just your average civvy before all this. But, circumstances as they were, he had no choice but to go underground. That's when he came to Ijincho, and I took him under my wing. I'm the one who suggested the handyman thing. But he took to the underground with real gusto.
What do you mean, gusto?
I'm not just talking him up. He had good reasons for diving headlong into the shadows.
Good reasons? Care to give me one or two?
You'll understand once you see what's on the lighter. Both Kuwana-kun's past and his purpose. That takes care of everything I have to say.
Not sure it's such a good idea for me to just let you leave.
Thinking about stopping me wouldn't be wise. This joint doesn't take kindly to that behavior.
That's why this is the safest place in Ijincho, huh?
Yep, and I'm glad your face is the last one I'll see in this city.
Interesting.
Right? I'm gonna go with that one. Very, very interesting that this guy is a I don't know what his role was.
Do you play on PS4 or PS5?
I play on PS5.
Oh, great. It's Claw Guy. You were with the Yuma, right?
They say you brought your little posse from Tokyo. You wouldn't trust an outsider.
Posse? Wait, don't tell me you think I'm RK. They're not even close to me. Hey, Tesso, you got this all wrong.
Come on, man! Slice you to ribbons! You're gonna bleed! Yeah! Going up!
Please subscribe to my channel to be updated with anything new.
Slice you to ribbons!
I need to go. I have high school, so maybe I watch later.
Oh, you're all good, dude. I'm glad you could stop by. You can watch this thing.
Virtual love.
You're gonna bleed!
https://linktr.ee/bxmpzii_platinum.
Damn it.
Come on, man. Who paid you to jump me this time?
These Kamurocho douchebags show up, strutting around like they own our city. Then I hear some teacher chick gets killed after a break-in. Fuckers. Someone let him into Ijincho, right? Right?
Look, I can see why you're pissed. But you figured coming after me was the answer?
Figured I could at least try beating a few out of you. Office visits ain't my style.
You gotta appreciate that not everyone plays by gang rules, man.
What I don't appreciate is Kamurocho trash. Now why are they here, Yagami?
I'd like to find that out myself. But I'll tell you this much, I'm not your enemy. I was first on the scene of that murder. I knew the woman personally. The culprit is RK's leader, a guy named Soma.
Shit, you serious? And why's the rest of his crew here with him? Lot of muscle just to ice one lady.
They're after a local handyman, Kawana. You know him?
Yeah, matter of fact, I do. Why they want him so bad.
I'm looking into that now. Which is why they're still after me. Not to mention they stabbed my partner. So the more you get in our way, the slower this'll go.
Gotcha.
You understand then?
How's about I make you the deal of a lifetime? So long as RK's messing around in my city. I don't mind calling you a brother.
Really? Just like that?
Sure, but I get to be Aniki, of course.
You really think this is selling it?
What you're missing here is the Liumong never target a brother. So now, if anyone lays a finger on you, the Liumong's taking their head. Same rule for all the ladies here in Ijincho. Anyone gets fresh, they become fresh meat. With me on that, brother?
Oh, this is gonna take some getting used to.
Besides, making you a brother is the only way we save face for getting our asses handed to us, you know?
Now the truth comes out.
Anyway, let me know if you get any intel on RK. Especially where that chicken shit Soma might be. Just shoot me a location and it's done. We'll give that teacher her piece. By torturing him to death.
EFB. You got this, you got this, you got this.
I was just thinking of calling you, Yagami-shi. I heard Kaito-san got stabbed at Siren.
Is that true, Yagami-san? What the hell happened?
Look, I promise I'll fill you in, but right now I really need Tsukumo's help.
With what?
I found a USB drive at Kawana's hideout. It was disguised to look like a
I'm
light.
back.
We have to know what's on it.
So, Kaito-san was attacked by that Soma guy too?
Yeah, while we were chasing Kawana, Soma popped up and got him right in the gut. Almost got me too, to be honest.
You're saying one guy almost single-handedly took down the Yagami Detective Agency?
It's true. And right after, I got a call from Kawana's purported relative.
Nice, Planet Orange purple ring.
Apparently, what's on it will tell us Kawana's true identity and goal.
When I open it, all I see is one data file.
Of what?
It's a video. I'll hit play once you guys are all ready. You good?
Damn, what's on there? I can't take the suspense.
Let's make it full screen.
So did I. Come on, Mitsuru. Quit being a little bitch. I told you to take it in the face. Alright, let's do it over again, okay? Suzuki, make sure you're getting this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna really fucking nail him this time.
Smile. Ready when you are.
Hey, get your ass back here. Mitsuru, what did I just say about being a bitch? You asked for it. I'm gonna have to punish ya. Punishment! Punishment! Let's hear the punishment song, everybody! Punishment! Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Mitsuru-kun Strip Show! Stop! You little shit, did you just kick me? Huh? Too late to get tough now, Mitsuru. Show us what you got.
Don't struggle now. We want to see. We gotta get this all on camera. Aw, isn't this just the most pathetic sight?
Oh shit, he's pissing himself!
Ew, that's so nasty.
Disgusting! Oh, look at this shit! Get out of here.
These little shits are the worst.
One of them said something about Mitsuru Kusumoto stripping?
Yeah, he was Sawa-sensei's classmate. 13 years ago, he jumped off the roof of Kurokawa Academy.
He's Reiko Kusumoto's son, right? Vice Minister of the Health Ministry? 30 years old and still in a coma. It seems we've stumbled on private video footage of Mitsuru Kusumoto being bullied.
And it was on Kawana-san's secret flash drive? Why would he have this?
I don't know. But his uncle said it's our lead to Kawana's real identity and motivation.
Huh. Just a moment. This frame gives us a good look at the key players' faces. Why don't we try gleaning what we can from it?
Sounds good. Let's dig in.
Please subscribe to my channel to be updated with anything new.
This girl recording the bullying on her cell phone.
Someone said her name in the video. Suzuki.
There's another familiar face. So it all comes circling back to her, huh?
Right. This Suzuki girl has a different name now. Yui Mamiya, the victim in the Ohara harassment case. Suzuki was her last name before getting married. Sawa-sensei also told me that Mitsuru Kusamoto and Mamiya were classmates 13 years ago.
Yep. So we're looking at Yui Mamiya in high school.
Mamiya-san, huh? What's she like underneath it all?
Originally, word got around that Shinya Kawai was the one bullying Mitsuru Kusamoto. After watching this, though, the truth of the matter doesn't quite line up. There were really about 10 bullies involved at the time.
https://linktr.ee/bxmpzii_platnum.
They're living out their lives like nothing happened, despite being the ones who drove a kid into a coma. If word got out, they'd be crucified by the public. Their jobs, their families, their lives would all change for the worse.
What the?
This guy's face is familiar somehow.
Oh, I don't think I've seen him.
I don't know him either. Who is he?
I think I remember him. I saw him at the crime scene where Mikoshiba's body was. He was with more Kurakawa grads. He showed his ID to the Kanagawa detective. I think his name was Akaike.
That gives us an interesting perspective, doesn't it? All the people in this bullying video seem to keep popping up around our case.
Yeah, but the real question is, why was Kawana the one with the video?
I feel bad for Mitsuru-kun. No one helped him, even with everything he was going through.
13 years ago, his mother was still just some nobody working at the Ministry of Health. She seems to have split with her husband and looks after her son on her own now. I don't know all the details, though.
Hey, crazy theory, but what if this husband she left was actually Kawana-san? And maybe he recorded this to secretly check on his son?
No, Kawana doesn't look like he could have a 30-year-old kid. Let's look for other possibilities. Hey.
If I'm not mistaken, Shinya Kawai was the bully whose name got out to the public.
Yeah. RK was hunting for him in Kamurocho pretty recently, too. I have no doubt the guy in the picture they showed me is the same guy in this video. Once RK came to the conclusion Kawai had been murdered, they came here to Ijincho, hunting down Kawana for whatever reason.
What the?
September 17th, 13 years ago. It's past 4 p.m., so this would be after school.
Oh, wait, this is...
Got something?
I just cross-referenced the date Mitsuru Kusamoto jumped. September 17th.
Oh, shit.
That can only mean this video was recorded very shortly before his suicide attempt.
Uh-huh.
The video may have provided some interesting connections, but we still don't have that crucial link. The link being the reason Kawana-san came to possess this, of course.
Right. Kawana's either the one who recorded it himself, or is at least a recipient of the video from the original witness.
Damn.
Kawana-san and Sawa-sensei knew each other somehow, right?
What a crazy
Well,
coincidence.
then, maybe Sawa-sensei recorded it 13 years ago, and then had Kawana-san look into it, as one of his handyman requests.
It's possible, but it just feels off.
Why's that?
Because of what Siren's owner said to me.
Okay.
You'll understand once you see what's on the lighter. Both Kawana-kun's past and his purpose.
He said we'll know Kawana's true identity once we watch the video. But that hasn't been the case so far.
Yeah. What identity could we draw from a secret recording of some bullies?
Assuming Kawana's in his early 40s, he would have been about 13 years ago. What if he was a school teacher of the students in the video?
In that case, we should consult the yearbook Segura-shi brought back. The one that was in Sawa-sensei's room? You still have yet to look through it.
That's right. Let me go get it.
The way you're talking, I assume you've already taken a peek?
We have, but unfortunately we didn't find Kawana-san's face among the teachers.
This is the page for Mitsuru Kusumoto's class. Both Sawa-sensei and Mamiya are there too.
So the homeroom teacher was... this guy.
Apparently he witnessed bullies harassing Mitsuru multiple times, yet he would overlook it. All he did was smile and tell them not to overdo it.
It's not Kawana. This is someone else.
We checked the rest of the teachers too, but never spotted Kawana-san.
Mitsuru Kusumoto. This picture doesn't look like it was shot for a yearbook.
Correct. He was most likely already in a coma when photo time rolled around.
Sawa-sensei isn't smiling at all in this.
Huh. She did mention she blew off her class reunion. In fact, she hadn't kept in touch with her classmates at all.
No surprise there. Mitsuru-kun would be bound to come up at some point.
This is Yui Suzuki. She's definitely one of the girls in the video.
Yet another classmate involved with Mitsuru Kusumoto.
Seems like a bunch of the students on this page were in the video, huh?
Yeah, but I can't find Shinya Kawai in here.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. He's not in there.
If I'm not mistaken, Kawai left the school once he started catching flack for being Mitsuru-kun's bully. At least, that's what I read online. No real evidence yet, but it definitely sounds like how it would have played out.
But the truth is, there were more bullies who should have seen consequences besides Kawai.
The worst part is that his teacher knew. He even talked to the bullies about it, but all he said was, "Don't overdo it." But afterward, the public eviscerated him. He had to quit his teaching job.
Hold on. If he was dismissed...
You figure something out?
The homeroom teacher at the time of the incident did take some flack. He got forced out of teaching.
Yeah? What of it?
If that's the case, couldn't this teacher in the yearbook just be filling in for the other one?
I see. That definitely sounds likely. Let me search for the original teacher's name. There's a chance he won't be the same guy in the yearbook. Just give me a sec.
Suspicious. What the...
Yagamishi, I found it. The name of Mitsuru Kusumoto's former homeroom teacher. You were right. It wasn't the same teacher in the yearbook. This one's name is Yu Kitakata.
Kitakata?
Huh? Don't tell me that's...
His real name's Kitakata. Ring any bells?
That's Kawana's real name. Soma said it to me once.
So, Kawana-san was the original homeroom teacher?
I just found a picture. This is Kitakata-sensei from 13 years ago.
It's Kawana.
That's him, all right.
Yeah. Not only that, Sawa-sensei was part of this class, which makes Kawana her homeroom teacher too. This is the link we've been looking for.
Everything is clicked into place. Kawana-san was the linchpin of this case.
So, 13 years ago, Yu Kitakata left teaching behind after Mitsuru-kun's incident, and became Kawana the handyman. That's what made him turn to his uncle at Siren for help. He told me Kawana tried really hard to make it in the underground, had some good reason for it.
For living a life in the shadows? What could that have been?
To get revenge on the bullies. Maybe Kawana blames the fact that he had to quit teaching on the bullies who caused it to happen. Then, maybe all his hatred got aimed at Shinya Kawai?
Possible. He was abducted 5 years ago by individuals thought to be his acquaintances.
Huh. You think one of them was Kawana-san?
I wouldn't rule it out. RK might have learned of Kawana's involvement while searching for Kawai. Maybe they came to Ijincho so they could get details on the incident from him?
Yes, that would explain RK's arrival in town as well.
Hold up. Individuals who were his acquaintances? Meaning more people besides Kawana-san, right? Could that mean...
You got it. We already know this.
Oh. The students in the video?
Individuals acquainted with Kawai. They certainly fit the bill.
But why would they wind up abducting him?
Huh. Maybe Kawana asked for their help? No. He forced them to.
What makes you say that?
Well, Kawana had this on a secret flash drive, right? But to anyone in this video, it would be their worst nightmare for it to show up now. If it did, they'd be busted as bullies who drove a high school kid to suicide.
Yep, it'd be a real disaster for them if that got out. They'd probably be done for in the public eye.
Which means this video is Kawana's leverage. It's how he got them to go after Kawai.
You think this is enough leverage to drive people to murder, though? Kawai was killed, right?
RK is the only one saying Kawai was murdered. No body's been recovered yet either.
Okay, hang on. I'm barely keeping up with this.
Yeah, it's a bunch of what-ifs stacked on top of each other. But there is somebody who could potentially confirm this.
Who'd that be?
Someone in the video. Mamiya, for example. I've met with her at her home. If she was involved with Kawai's abduction, she could probably tell us what we want to know.
I agree. Yagamishi's provided a working theory that ties together the Kamurocho and Ijincho incidents. So if we can get Yui Mamiya to corroborate this, we should be able to extract even more information from her. Perhaps even including Kawana-san's whereabouts.
Yeah. Looks like he hasn't given us the slip just yet.
Man, what the hell is that guy's deal?
Mikoshiba and Sawa-sensei's murders, Ihara's alibi, Kawai's disappearance. Kawana's most likely tied to everything. We'll get all the answers we need if we can find him.
And I guess this is bringing us that much closer?
Hopefully. I should go see Yui Mamiya tomorrow.
You should accompany him, Sugiurashi. Considering we seem to be kicking the investigation into high gear. With Kaito-san out of commission, I'm sure Yagamishi could use a helping hand. I'll be fine right here.
Your call, Tsukumo-kun. I'm cool with whatever.
Thanks for lending him out, Tsukumo. I'll make sure he comes back in one piece.
Hey, don't underestimate him as a party member. He can hold his own if you let him.
You know how they say your life flashes before your eyes when you're dying? That shit's real talk.
You saw it all, huh?
Yeah. There I am, bleeding out. And suddenly I'm getting the 3rd degree from Matsugane-san. Back when I was still just a rookie. Captain Hamura stares me down like, time to lose that pinky. And then, Higashi starts crying for me. Oh, if I'm gonna go, I ought to get a better final scene than that shit, right? Right?
I'm sure it'll be rosier when the time comes for real. Glad you pulled through, man.
That bastard Soma, though. Next time, he's fucked. We could have avenged Sawa-sensei if it weren't for that stupid ambush.
Well, you didn't tell the cops about him, did you?
Had to give the cops a statement, so I did. With a generous side of bullshit.
That'll get you busted, you know.
I'm joking. All I said was the truth. That I got knifed by the same twisted fuck who got Sawa-sensei.
In that case, it's only a matter of time until Soma's arrested. So for now, we'll go after Kuwana, the piece that ties it all together. We just have to find him before RK does.
Kuwana, huh? He's on my shit list too, just so you know.
Huh?
Kuwana must have had some sort of agenda back when he first met us. In fact, it's probably because you were looking into Mikoshiba. He palled around with me all because of that. I'm just a sucker of the agency, huh?
I wouldn't say that.
Still. The moment an ask for me to kick turns up, this is the shape I'm in.
Just focus on getting better. Tsukuma will stop by later, too.
What? Sugiura gonna give me the cold shoulder?
He and I are off to question Mamiya. He said he'd drive us from Ijincho and everything.
So, we off to see Mamiya? I'm ready whenever you are.
Yep, let's go.
Alright, let's do this. If your theory is accurate, then Mamiya was involved in both Kawai and Mikoshiba's murders. And even if that's off, we can at least learn more about Kawana-san as a teacher.
Yes?
Hi, it's Yagami. I dropped by with Genda Law the other day.
Not again.
I have just a few more questions I'd like to ask you.
You told me the last visit would be your only one. Seriously, why do you keep showing up here uninvited? Please, just leave me alone.
I suppose I should mention, I'm here today as a detective, not a lawyer.
So what?
And my partner here is Sugiura. He's with an agency called Yokohama 99.
Never heard of him.
He's based in Ijincho. He's working a case. Maybe you saw it on the news? The murder of Seiryo High teacher Yoko Sawa, killed in her own apartment. You and Sawa-san were classmates in high school, is that correct? After leaving Kurokawa 13 years ago, Sawa-san moved to Ijincho to teach. Are you still there?
What is it you want? I haven't seen Yoko-chan since graduation. Now go. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Maybe you'll remember Kitakata-sensei then. I ran into him at Sawa-sensei's home right before the murder. He was your homeroom teacher at Kurokawa, but resigned after the Mitsuru Kusamoto incident. Just like you, he appears to be connected to Sawa-san.
So why am I being singled out? Can't you just ask someone else?
Believe me, it's a long list. But right now, we're here to find out how Sawa-san got mixed up in all this. You two weren't necessarily on bad terms, were you?
If I had to say, we weren't on the best terms either.
Ah, how convenient. Because that's a perspective I'd like to hear more about as well.
My husband will be home soon. Can you keep it quick?
I'll give it my best shot.
Exactly. Thanks for hearing us out.
Hold on just a moment.
Wonder what's going on. You don't think she bolted, do you?
Wouldn't count on it.
Should we ring again?
Sorry to keep you waiting. I just wanted to clean up a little.
Is your son home today?
He's at English school right now. I have to pick him up soon.
Doesn't your husband help with any of that? You said he'd be home soon, right?
Excuse me, but you are in no place to make those kinds of comments.
Sorry. Didn't mean to pry.
Well, what is it you want to ask?
Have you been in contact with Kitakata-sensei lately?
I haven't. He's someone I'd rather not have in my life.
Are you surprised that he stayed in Ijincho after resigning from the school?
No, not really.
How about the fact that now he's using an alias?
I had no clue. But again, he has nothing to do with me.
Do you remember Mitsuru Kusumoto?
Yes, we were classmates in high school.
He jumped off the school's roof after his classmate Shinya Kawai bullied him. I hear he's still in a coma, 13 years later.
Weren't you going to ask me about Yoko-chan?
I was, but there seemed to be an awful lot of Kurokawa graduates surrounding this case. And strangely enough, they were all in your class. Kitakata-sensei being the prime example, as well as a guy named Akaike-san. Remember him?
Well, you're right. We were in the same class.
And would you say you're all familiar with Mitsuru Kusumoto's situation?
Yes, but that's not a warm memory for any of us.
I understand. I'm sure it's not. The groping was orchestrated, right?
Excuse you?
When Akihiro Ihara grabbed you on the train, you were in on that, weren't you? The whole thing was a conspiracy, staged to play out as it did.
You need to leave. Right now!
Dude, what gives?
No one would even think to consider a predator and his victim could be accomplices. It's unheard of. But if it was to establish a murder alibi, that's another story, considering how much lighter the sentence is. That way, Ihara got away with killing Mikoshiba, paying only a fraction of the price. But as luck would have it, proving it is going to require you to cooperate with us now.
If you don't get up this second, I am calling the police. I mean it!
It took me quite a long time to figure out how you and Ihara were connected. But once I learned Yokosawa attended Kurokawa, it all started falling into place. She was in your homeroom class. She looked after Toshiro Ihara. She was the link to everyone. But just before I could ask her about any of this, she was murdered by Kamurocho gang. That same gang has been hunting your old teacher, Kitakata-sensei.
What is it you want from me?
Lamia-san, do you have any idea where Kitakata-sensei could be? He may be Kawana the handyman, but he hasn't answered his work line since Sawa-san's murder.
I don't know! He was my teacher a decade ago. I barely remember his face.
Well, I'm willing to wager Kitakata-sensei still remembers yours. I'll prove it right now.
Oh, God.
See for yourself.
No.
This was recorded at Kurokawa Academy 13 years ago. Feeling nostalgic yet? It was well hidden. Your Kitakata-sensei had it on a USB drive. He really didn't want this thing being seen. The most interesting part is the date. It's the very same day Mitsuru Kusumoto jumped off the school roof. And hanging out in the back we see you, laughing and cheering right along with the other bullies.
Guess it's safe to say it's a good thing your family wasn't home. Wouldn't exactly want them seeing this, would we?
Has this video come up? Has Kitakata-sensei ever mentioned to you that he had it?
Please. Please delete it.
Considering the angle, I get the feeling that this was recorded in secret. And based on your reaction, did you even know it existed?
You know what happened to Mitsuru-kun. He's been in a coma ever since what you did to him that day. But still, only one of you took the fall. Shinya Kawai took all the blame. Well, sorta, being that he got fired, Kitakata-sensei took heat too. Still, you all just moved right along with your lives. You've even got happy little families. What? Are you expecting someone?
Amiya-san?
Well, I knew it would happen someday.
What do you mean?
Looks like she wanted some company over.
Well, this turned into a shit show.
And would you look at that? Our old friend Akaike-san showed up to play a part. So you are all working together.
What should we do with them? They're the jerks who hurt Tsukumo-kun, right?
Break every finger on their hand, it still won't make you even. Come on, they may have more on the way. I have an old haunt in mind we move this to, and Mamiya-san's coming with.
Huh?
Let's not cause a scene, okay? I'd hate for a finger to slip and post this video.
Hey, you think this is your personal jail, Yagami? What makes you think you can keep bringing captives here?
Well, it's the safest spot we know. Doesn't it feel good to be such a reliable friend?
Yeah, Higashi, be cool. We won't be around long.
Be cool? You think time's the issue? This is about respect, man.
What you call? We kicking him out?
Oh, quick bit of news, Higashi-san. Kaito-san got shanked in Yokohama.
What? What the fuck? Kaito Aniki? By who?
You'll know once we're done explaining. Let me introduce you to Mamiya-san first. She called up her friends to come after us just a little bit ago.
Yeah, and I'd do it again.
I don't give a shit about that. What happened to Aniki? You better have paid him back already, Yagami. Fuck those RK assholes. And how could Aniki have let him get to him like that?
Now that Higashi-san's up to speed, should we get to it? I imagine Mamiya-san doesn't want to drag this out.
What do you intend to do with me?
First, you'll tell us everything you know. We'll decide how to deal with you afterward.
Then let's get this over with. What do you want to know?
Let's start with the video. Any thoughts you'd care to share? I found it on a flash drive in Kitakata-sensei's room. Or should I say, Kawana's. I take it that means he's the one who recorded it.
Yes.
That means Kawana already knew back then the rest of you were bullies too?
Yes.
If that's the case, then why was Shinya Kawai the only student thrown under the bus for it? Kawana-san didn't show that tape to anyone else?
We had no idea we were even being taped. We didn't find out about the video, or the reason he sat on it so long until way after graduating.
Why exactly did he sit on it for so long?
Kitakata-sensei said he kept it so he could teach us for the rest of our lives.
What?
If that video came out at the time of the incident, I'm sure life would have been hard for us then. After all, Kawai was exposed online, and that would mean millions of yen in compensation for damages.
Yeah, but you guys could have wound up in the same boat.
No. At most we would have come across as dumb kids he roped into helping him. We might have caught some flack, but people would chalk it up to kids and their cliques and move on. But that's only how I would have gone if it had come out while we were still teenagers.
You're saying circumstances are different now?
I have a child now. A husband, an upscale apartment. If the world sees that tape now, I'll lose it all. And what do you think would happen to my son? The son of a woman who drove a kid to attempt suicide? His life would be ruined. That recording is more than kids being cruel. Mitsuru jumped from the school roof that very night and is still in a coma today.
I get it. You have that much more to lose now than when you were a kid.
Same for all my classmates. Kurokawa Academy is a prestigious school, after all. Most graduates go off to great universities and land high-paying jobs. One started his own company. Others have families.
And they're all in your position too, huh? If that video gets out, they lose everything.
Exactly. Do you get it now? He waited for all of us to get what we wanted in life, just so he could threaten to take it all away. And when that time came, he started contacting us. Every student you see in that video.
When was the first time Kawana approached you?
5 years ago. I was out on a walk with my son when he came strolling up out of the blue. At first, I barely recognized him. His eyes were so hollow. Then, without so much as a word, he took out his phone and played that video. He's a psychopath!
Well, all you kids tormenting Mitsuru looked pretty psychopathic to me.
Oh, and you're so perfect. An angel who never once acted out of line? Never lashed out at someone weaker than you, or sided with the group to shut someone out? Everyone does it! We were just lucky enough to have some creep tape us, picking on some kid who couldn't take it. Why did this have to happen to me?
I'd say it's because bad things happen to bad people. You'll sling your barbs from a safe distance, but once you're on the other side of it, you curl up and play victim.
You said it was 5 years ago that Kawana showed you the video? Reminds me of something Shirosaki-sensei was looking into.
What?
There was this guy. I think his name was Shinya Kawai. Something about him getting snatched off the streets about 5 years back.
Then it was you guys. You're the ones who abducted him in Kamurocho and murdered him.
No! It wasn't us! We could never do something like that!
Wasn't us, huh? So you're not denying he was murdered after all? Who was it then?
All Sensei told us was to find Kawai somewhere in Kamurocho, then bring him back with us, no matter what it took.
Did Kawana tell you what he wanted with him?
He needs to be there when you all beg for forgiveness, is all he said. And if we refused, he'd leak the video. So we all went to see Kawhi, but he wanted nothing to do with Sensei. Considering he'd cost him everything, that came as no surprise.
But doing nothing would cost the rest of you everything, too.
Yes. So we had to force him into our van. After he put up a fight.
Yeah, that lines up with what the local eyewitnesses said. So then what happened? Nobody's heard from the guy since.
We were directed to bring him to a wharf in Yokohama. And that's where we begged for forgiveness. After that, he said we were free to go. All except Kawhi.
So you left him there alone with Kawana?
We had to. The day after, I got a message on my phone from Sensei.
What did it say?
Nothing. There was only a video. It was of all of us, pushing Kawhi into the van. Turns out he recorded what we did in the city. You can see all our faces so clearly. How we covered Kawhi's mouth as he screamed for help. Even if you know all the backstory, the video is a clear-cut abduction. As I was watching it the first time, another message came in. This time, a picture. When I saw it, I just went cold. That's when I knew I would never be able to escape him. It was a picture of Kawhi. Dead. Anyone who saw those messages would think we killed him after shoving him into the van.
And that's how he got his real leverage on his former students.
Since then, we've been at his beck and call. No matter what he tells us to do, we wouldn't dare refuse him.
He's giving you orders?
That man! He forces us to help him. He makes us accomplices to murder.
Murder?
What the hell? Murder who, exactly?
Any bullies involved in suicides. That's who Sensei's got it in for. Anyone he can find across the country. He doesn't even care how old the case is. If a student commits suicide, and bullying is suspected as the cause, he'll turn up. As far as I know, counting Kawhi, I think he's killed at least 7 people.
7? How's he doing this?
So his idea of justice is killing bullies? Across the entire country?
He said that's the only way we can atone. Anyone who drives someone to suicide must always face justice. Until society comes to terms with this, he says we'll keep getting our hands dirty. That way, we might be able to save the next few Mitsurus before it's too late for them.
Not sure I should say this out loud, but I'm kind of rooting for this guy now.
Yeah, let's not.
So was the murder of Hiro Mikoshiba part of that agenda? We know Mikoshiba drove Ihara-san to suicide 4 years prior. That has to be why Kawana let Ihara murder him, and how you found your role in establishing his alibi.
Not just me. Grabbing Mikoshiba required a good number of people. All the people who pinned Ihara down. And even the ones who filmed it, they were working for Sensei.
So that's how it went down.
We had an unspoken agreement that we wouldn't directly take part in any killing. He just makes us his accomplices somehow. Like luring a target or digging a hole for a body. But the one thing we can't ever do is turn him down. If we do, he'll send his video of us abducting Kawhi to the police. And then Kawhi's body will turn up with our fingerprints all over his corpse. And we know that because he's hidden Kawhi's corpse in a freezer somewhere.
He's preserving one of his murder victims?
So as long as he has that, you're wrapped around his finger.
Sounds to me like Kawana's had one thing on his mind for 13 years. Sitting on that video and becoming an Ijincho handyman was all in service of his real motive, killing off bullies. He's dragged all his former students into this hell, until the day it destroys every single one of you.
Is today that day?
We'll see. I'm still curious about a few things, though, if you don't mind.
What?
There are these scumbags chasing down Kuwana called RK. What part did they play? Strangely enough, they never came up once during your confession. So tell me, why'd they come for Yokosawa?
That I don't know for certain. But Sensei did reach out to Yoko-chan about 6 months ago over the phone. He was asking her about the suicide at Seiryo High.
The suicide at Seiryo High? You must be talking about Toshiro Ehara.
The lawsuit played out like no bullying took place, right? That the school wasn't responsible. But Yoko-chan was a teacher there, and Sensei was able to get the truth out of her.
How'd he do that? What did he say?
From Yoko-chan's perspective, she and Sensei were both just teachers dealing with students attempting suicide. I think that's why she let her guard down and told them everything. After learning the truth, Sensei believed Mikoshiba needed to be held accountable.
So if Sawa-sensei hadn't talked to him, Ehara wouldn't have gotten involved? And none of this would be happening in Ijincho?
Possibly.
No, this isn't right. Sawa-sensei didn't know Kuwana's identity or his objectives. She thought she was just talking through her problems with a sympathetic ex-teacher. At the very least, she sure as hell didn't deserve to die for that!
It's not like we're the ones who did it.
Who is it?
Block number. Hello?
Yo, know who this is, Yagami?
Kuwana?
Yeah. I heard you're looking for me.
Where are you?
I'm willing to meet you now if you come alone. But you have to let Mamiya go in exchange.
What?
All right. She's free as soon as I see you.
Works for me. Then come on down to your office. I thought I'd let myself in.
What?
Gotta say, this chair's pretty comfy.
Pretty sure I locked up behind me when I left.
Listen, I'll only meet you alone. No one else. And don't make me wait long, or I could change my mind.
He told me to meet him alone. You can let Mamiya-san go once I confirm he's there.
You gonna be alright by yourself?
Well, he already knows Mamiya-san's with us. I'm guessing he was watching us from somewhere. And I can't afford to do anything that would piss him off enough to make him disappear.
Got it.
Oh, we'll take care of this end of it. Shouldn't you move your ass?
Hope you don't mind I let myself in. Now, are you gonna hold up your end and release Yui Mamiya? Come on. You and I can either try to make this work, or neither of us is gonna get what we want. So, you gonna make the call or what?
Hello? Yagami-san?
I'm with Kawana. You can let Mamiya-san go.
Got it. Will do.
Sorry about all this, Yagami. Why don't you sit down? Maybe it's time you and I had a heart-to-heart. How's Kaito holding up?
Kaito-san's recovering in the hospital. For now. Sawa-sensei is another story, though.
I can hardly believe it. She was the last person I wanted to get mixed up in all this shit.
If that's the case, why were you already waiting in her apartment? RK's top men were lying in wait over there to get their hands on you. So why was she the one lying on the ground? Answer me, Kawana. Was it because of you?
Would you feel better if it was?
How dare you?
You're thinking that if you hadn't stuck your nose in her affairs, she might be at home grading her papers right now. You tell me. Is that what's eating away at you right now? Because if it is, you're mistaken. That guilt is mine alone to bear. It's my burden to carry. When I saw on the news that she had been murdered in cold blood, it felt like the whole world had stopped spinning to me. I would take it all back right now if I could. But unfortunately, to fix this, I'd need to turn the clock back further than you'd think.
You mean back to when you were a school teacher?
Yeah, basically. Back to when I still had a little faith in humanity. Seeing someone's life get cut short, you never really bounce back from it, do you? But I don't have to tell you that. I did my homework on you, Yagami. It seems you were a fairly accomplished lawyer. You even scored a murder acquittal. But we both know how that ended. The death of an innocent young woman. You and I are the same. We both have scars. And they're the type of scars that never fully heal.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
But for Sawa-kun, it was 13 years ago. The very day before Mitsuru Kusamoto jumped, she stopped me in the hall so she could tell me about how serious the bullying really was. Up until that day, I'd just assumed it was boys being boys, teasing. I figured it was harmless, that they'd get bored with it, and then they'd move on. I mean, come on. Kawai had to have been twice the size of Mitsuru. It's not like I'd seen any fighting. So I warned him not to overdo it. And eventually he would take the hint.
Well, according to what I was told, you smirked, actually.
Yeah. I guess that's what I did. I was too late. Sawa-kun had to point it out. Sensei, how could you be so blind? She asked. Her eyes were this piercing mix of pity and scorn. According to what she told me, nearly half the class was bullying Mitsuru. She said she'd seen him at the station. She made it sound like he had half a mind to jump onto the tracks right then and there. I'm not so presumptuous anymore. But back then, I used to think my students were my biggest fans. I thought I'd won their hearts and minds. But the look on Sawa-kun's face that day made me see the truth. I couldn't just go on smiling like nothing happened. So I decided to do my homework. The next day, I put a hidden camera in the classroom after school.
So you admit that you're the one who recorded that video?
Yeah. You saw it, right? Talk about the ugly side of kids.
Hard to watch, wasn't it? Unfortunately, by the time I picked up the camera and saw what it recorded, Mitsuru had made his jump. I missed him by a few crucial moments. What happened in that classroom was the final straw. Later on, all the bullies were asked what happened. Each and every one of them lied. Kawai started it. It wasn't our idea, they said. To anyone outside of it, all they'd seen was Kawai forcing Mitsuru to do his bidding. So the people held culpable were Kawai and myself. The callous homeroom teacher who deliberately turned a blind eye. That was the day I began living my life with real purpose.
So you couldn't forgive your students who got away with bullying. You went so far. You put aside your own life to make sure they atoned somehow.
That's right. Mitsuru Kusamoto's still a vegetable. He's as good as dead. But I don't care. We have no right to forget about him.
You say that, even though Sawa-sensei ended up paying for it. I'll ask you again. Why were you at her apartment the other day? Don't dodge the question this time.
I wouldn't say I dodged it. But I suppose I should explain from the beginning. 4 years ago, there was a suicide at Sawa-kun's school. It was her own student this time. You know this, right? A student at Seiryo High School? Toshiro Ehara.
Yeah.
When she was in court, Sawa-kun had no choice but to say there wasn't any bullying. Soon as she told me that, I knew Hiro Mikoshiba would be my next target. Of course, she had no idea about any of that. When Sawa-kun learned Mikoshiba had been murdered, though, she reached out to me herself.
What did she want?
She had a sneaking suspicion that I was involved in his death. She called me a few times, prodding carefully for answers. Quite the perceptive lady, really.
And? What kind of answers did you give her?
I denied any knowledge of it, but at one point, she mentioned something kind of odd. That there was a detective at the school already investigating the incident.
Huh?
She meant you, of course. A detective already knee-deep into the case, despite the police barely even knowing about Mikoshiba. The police are a pain in the ass. But when an out-of-town detective comes sniffing around, that's bad. I knew I had to act fast to get you off the trail. Although, Sawa-kun was a problem too. I thought I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
And then what?
First, I found out where the 2 of you would be meeting up, at that little cafe. Then, I hired the Liumang to step in. But you put up one hell of a fight. They had strength in numbers, but you would have taken out the whole group if I hadn't stepped in. Nonetheless, my other message went through. At the same time, Sawa-kun was handed a photo of Mikoshiba's final moments. I left that task to someone you know. Yue Mamiya. They hadn't seen each other in 13 years. Sawa-kun had no idea.
The lady in the sunglasses. Yue Mamiya was involved in that too?
Everything I did that night was intended as a warning to Sawa-kun. Although, I guess I didn't have to be so extreme about it.
Yeah. Sawa-sensei was too smart. She must have started suspecting that you'd had something to do with Mikoshiba's murder. After all, who else could have known we'd be meeting at that cafe? She'd have traced it right back to you.
Even if Sawa-kun had started to suspect me, I knew she wouldn't sell me out to the cops. We're too alike. The both of us lost students to suicide on our watch. That said, I couldn't bear the thought of dragging her down into the mess I started, so I scared her off, and I thought she would stay away. The day she was killed, she called to ask if we could speak in person. I could tell something was wrong. She was on the verge of tears the whole call. Then she broke down. I asked her why, of course, but she wouldn't give me a straight answer no matter how I tried to phrase the question.
So then what? Did you just waltz on over there? It doesn't seem like you.
Watch it. You don't know me well enough to say that.
Maybe. But I assume you had some sort of plan going in. Were you gonna confess to her?
Here's the thing. If she'd figured out that I was behind Mikoshiba, and it didn't sit well with her, I would have told her every last detail. Sawakun knew. I think she would have understood me. Or at least that's what I had believed. In hindsight, I think she was forced to make that call. Under normal circumstances, I'm sure she'd have rather washed her hands of me. Hard as it is to hear, I think she called me under duress. RK probably had her hostage. That would explain the vague responses. That's probably why her voice was trembling. It's tragic.
You mean it was RK? Why do they want you so badly anyway?
I don't know.
What?
If I knew their angle, I'd be doing more than just scurrying around.
You serious?
Believe me, I'm just as clueless as you are, much as I hate to admit it. Honest, I'm not thrilled that a small army wants my head on a platter. Have you noticed how RK seems to show up at the worst possible times? Someone must be pulling their strings.
Then we're on the same page. At least we agree on something.
Just a sec. Yeah. I'm still over here with Yagami-san. You're not being tailed by any of his guys, are you? Okay. Then I'll meet you right now. That was Mamiya-kun. She said she's free. You guys have been true to your word. Tell Sugiura-kun that I said thank you.
Now you want to go? We still have some business to settle here.
Now remember, I'm the handyman here. Let me do the dirty work. I don't know what else to tell you, but you need to get out while you still can.
If you disappear into the night, I don't want to go busting my ass just to find you again. Before you leave, I'll need some contact info. A phone number would be nice.
Oh, no need for that. As far as I'm concerned, this is goodbye.
I wouldn't count on that. You won't get away.
You don't give up, huh? Leave me alone! Hold up! Now look at you! Don't you have anything
You won't
else
get
to
away.
do? Leave me alone!
Hold up!
Don't you have anything else to do? You don't give up,
You
huh?
won't get away.
Don't you have anything else to do?
Hold up!
You don't give up, huh?
You won't get
Don't you
away.
have anything else to do? You don't give up, huh?
Hold up!
Yeah. Catch you later!
Oh, damn it! Get back here!
What the... Where'd he go?
Kawana!
You guys again. Do you really need the masks? Come on, Kurakawa kids.
You heard that, right? The detective here already knows everything.
Kawana!
What are you going to do now? What do you think happens when he spills everything? Sounds like your lives are over, unless you shut him up.
But Sensei, you'll finish the job for us, right?
Huh? Is that you, Akahike?
Oh, he's even got a name to your voice.
But... answer me, Sensei!
I know. I'll be the one to finish it. You just knock him out.
Okay, then. Time to learn your lesson!
Come on. What kind of lesson is this? Kawana? Oh no, Kawana! Really? So nice of you to stick around. Mamiya-san. Well, since Kawana couldn't stay, sounds like you're not out of the woods just yet, huh?
13 years in the past. Mitsuru Kusimoto plunged himself into a coma, sealing his fate alongside Kawana's. Ridden by guilt, Kawana sets off on a path of vengeance, and the bullies he drags with him are shackled to the shadows. However, Yokosawa's murder serves as a deadly wake-up call to what he's done.
Hey. What are you doing?
Getting your identification on record, so you won't be a threat to us anymore.
What?
And I think you owe us after everything you've done. Expect me to come collect one of these days. Your carriage awaits, Mamiya-san.
Don't tell me we're going back to that dingy arcade.
We sure are. But try not to hold a grudge. It wasn't us who abandoned you. Higashi, you already called Sari-san and the gang, right?
Yeah, I let them know what's up. They said they'll head over when they're ready.
Did Shirosaki-sensei say anything?
Well, she was pretty stunned when I told her who Kuwana really is and what he's up to.
Sounding a little smug there, Higashi-san. Taking credit for the detective work you didn't even do? Back me up here, Yagami-san.
Whatever, man. Kuwana got away, and that's all that matters. Still, the task in front of us is finishing Sari-san's case. We have to clear up Bahara's crime once and for all. With Mamiya-san's help, of course.
Finally, I'm ready to get some answers. Well, we still got time till Shirosaki-sensei gets here. Why don't you take a breather, Yagami-san?
Huh? That'd be okay?
Sure. I'll call you once everyone's here.
Yeah, a break sounds good.
By the way, Higashi, has anything unusual gone down in Kamurocho lately? Anything involving RK?
Yeah, about that. My guys were saying things have been a little too quiet since yesterday. Soma and Akutsu are out in Ijincho too. When they come back, they're in for a rude awakening. And they can pay for what they did to Kaito Aniki.
Make them pay? Aren't your Yakuza days behind you now?
That's not the Yakuza in me talking. That's just a problem I'm gonna be the solution for.
Isn't that exactly what a Yakuza would say?
Fine. Think of it as getting revenge for a brother. I'm doing the right thing, damn it!
Yeah, maybe it's just how you're putting it.
Besides, what's it matter if I was Yakuza? I've got my own code, and I'm gonna do right by me.
Whatever you say. Much as things change, they stay the same.
What could this mean?
Come on.
And stay down.
Hey, Yagami-san, it's Sugiura.
Hey,
Shirosaki-sensei and the others just got to Charles. They're getting ready to grill Mamiya-san.
Got it. Then I'll head back soon.
Thanks.
Really? You too, Genda-sensei?
What? Am I in the way?
Of course not. I didn't know you still did field work.
I figured if they could... Pull a fast one on Saori-kun. I'd at least want to look him in the eye.
Why are all these people here? What gives?
We've been waiting for you, Yagami-san. Mamiya-san is about to enlighten us on the truth behind the groping.
Good.
Oh, and I heard about Sawa-sensei. I'm so sorry.
Our condolences.
Looks like she got mixed up in all this when RK was chasing after Kawana. But we're still not sure why they chased him. To figure that out, we'll have to retrace Kawana's steps.
Exactly.
That said, let's start with the harassment charges, Mamiya-san.
Fine. Let's get this over with.
Pout all you want, but keep the answers straight. Got it?
Ihara's assault was designed to establish a false alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. So Kawana had you play the victim, and together you pulled one over on the police and the court.
Can you confirm if this is all accurate so far, please?
Yeah.
The person who groped you on the train wasn't Ihara-san himself. It was his stand-in. And my understanding is that he had conspirators to help him fabricate this event?
That's right.
What was Kawana doing at the time? Was he in Ijinsho or Tokyo?
Didn't you hear your lady friend? Ihara-san had a stand-in. And that stand-in was our sensei.
You mean Kawana posed as Ihara himself? So this Ahara was actually Koana. Huh.
Sensei and Ehara-san have a pretty similar build. Not sure they could have pulled it off otherwise, you know?
But some spots don't look right, like his mouth. You sure that's really Koana-san?
That part around his mouth is fake. He said he scanned Ehara-san's face and made it on a 3D printer.
Oh, huh.
You can print things in 3D now?
Well, it's a machine that takes a model's data from a computer and prints physical objects using materials like resin. So if you were to scan a person's face onto a computer, a 3D printer could accurately recreate it.
I don't know the details, but that's what Sensei used to become Ehara-san.
Something like this. See, with a 3D printer, a piece of a face is pretty easy to make.
What the hell?
I see. His eyes are hidden behind the sunglasses, and the seams on his jaw are obscured by the mask.
It's incredible, I must say. With the mouth area so visible, it's too convincing to think he's anybody else. And with the prosecution assuming he's just another sexual predator, they fell for it.
This is no time to be impressed. In case you forgot, he had the defense fooled too.
Right.
Assuming Koana was Ahara's double, there's still some evidence I'm iffy about.
I'm of the same opinion.
Okay. Which evidence is questionable?
Any thoughts after seeing this?
Stop it.
You're gonna look away? You aided and abetted by playing the victim, didn't you?
I mean, yes.
Who put this video up on the internet?
Sensei did. He said from the start that once Ehara-san got his guilty verdict, he'd upload it to the internet.
So that was all part of the plan.
Yeah. Sensei can't forgive the law for how easy it lets off bullies. Ehara-san's the same way. His son's death was brushed aside. The court blamed his suicide on unknown factors. And that's what led them to his whole plan. The real victim is some bully who never got what he deserved, and the killer gets off in court by being convicted of battery. How would the public respond after finding out they'd gamed the law like that?
So Koana and Ahara's real plan was to make a mockery out of the justice system.
Seems to be going well for them. The courts are beside themselves for dragging the police into this.
I guess Ahara really was desperate. He was never concerned about his own punishment. He tarnished his own name to humiliate the law.
Yeah, cop or not, Ahara is a broken man. Nobody took responsibility for his son's death, and the courts all but ignored his case. No wonder he went along with Koana.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Sensei and Ehara-san are the perfect pair with nothing to lose. The only ones who do are the ones forced to comply. Us. Speaking of which, are we done here yet?
How about this then?
What's this? A map of the station?
We made a diagram of Shinjuku Station. The platform's packed with cameras, but take a closer look and you'll notice a small blind spot.
We've all been looking into it. So, let's say Ihara murdered Mikoshiba and faked his alibi at the station. If that was the case, then after Ihara had his stand-in do the deed, they would have swapped at this blind spot.
Yeah.
Sound about right?
Is I give up what you're looking for? You figured it out. You win. What more do you want?
This came out pretty clearly.
Uh-huh.
So the guy in the back is Kuwana posing as Ihara, right?
Yes. And he actually didn't lay a finger on me. His prince couldn't show up.
Sounds like you had a hell of a time getting this set up.
I didn't. But Sensei sure did.
How about this then?
And this is?
Before the incident, Ihara used this card to go through the ticket gate at Ikebukuro, the time of which was recorded.
Right, and it was on October 7th at 7:43 a.m.
Thanks, Hoshino-kun.
Happy to help, Yagami-san.
At the earliest, Mikoshiba's time of death would have been 7:30 a.m. If Ihara killed Mikoshiba in Ijincho, he would have only had 13 minutes to get to Ikebukuro. And frankly, that's impossible.
That's what's stumping you?
Huh?
Sensei borrowed the card from Ihara-san beforehand and passed her the gate. Afterward, he slipped it back to Ihara-san when they switched places. That way, Ihara-san ended up having the time-stamped card on him. Makes sense now.
So even the entry time through the ticket gate was used as part of the alibi?
It all seems so obvious now that I hear it. Nobody'd suspect that a groping was being used as an alibi for murder.
Yeah. And on top of all that, no one knew Mikoshiba had been killed during the trial. They really pulled it off.
Anything else?
This piece of the puzzle still needs an explanation.
Is that...
The police examined the trace evidence on Ihara's hands after he was caught. And from the analysis, the same fibers from Mamiya-san's undergarments were found on Ihara's hands.
That's right. If the stand-in was the groper, Ihara-san wouldn't have touched Mamiya-san at all. But the evidence on Ihara-san's hands suggests otherwise. Rather strange, isn't it?
I take it there was a trick to this, too?
That's simple. Before I got in the train, I met with the real Ihara-san at the underground platform. That's when I had him touch the undergarment. After that, all I had to do was go to the bathroom and put them on. That's where the fibers in the trace were from. What the police found on Ihara-san's hands was exactly what we wanted them to find. And it would serve as hard proof he grabbed me. The courts really ate it up. It was hard not to laugh sometimes, to be honest.
You're really starting to open up. That's the spirit.
Yagami-san, you sure that's enough?
Yeah, I think we've got plenty. Bottom line, the groping was a fabrication. At the very least, we know that the prosecution's evidence can all be refuted.
The courts were being intentionally misled. I'm considering filing an appeal.
Are you saying you want a retrial?
I am. We'll reveal Ahara and Kuwana's plot and overturn the verdict they issued.
That might be harder than it sounds.
Why do you say that, Genda-sensei?
Well, the previous trial resulted in Ahara being found guilty, right? As the client, if he doesn't want an appeal, there's no way you're getting one. Doesn't matter what any lawyer tries to do. If Ahara refuses to appeal, then that's that.
Then we'll talk to him tomorrow. First, we need to see how he reacts to everything we've got on him.
Sounds good. Then let's meet at the detention center tomorrow.
Will do.
So, we done for the night?
Sure are. Great job, everyone. Go get some rest.
Yo, Yagami. You sure it was cool to let that Mamiya chick just go home?
Yeah? Why?
I mean, she helped Kuwana kill all those people. Aren't you gonna turn her in or something?
I would. There's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do?
Frankly, we don't have any proof of the murder she was talking about.
What, so this is all for nothing?
Nothing directly pointing to Mamiya, anyway. Aside from Mikoshiba, no other bodies turned up. Which means all we can do is take her home, right? Sugiura is making sure she gets back safe.
Fine, forget it. Why are you still here? Everyone else went home already.
Come on, man, why the cold shoulder? Am I really that annoying?
You wouldn't be the guy I'd call to hang out with. So if you're done, then go.
Wow. Straight for the jugular, huh?
But if it's help you need, I'll be there. I've had nothing but time lately. But only if you bow your head and ask nice. Then I'll consider it.
I know for a fact you'd help me out regardless, so why waste a good bow? Thanks for the drink.
Dude, come on. That was your cue to bow and ask nice.
Really, guys? What a waste. Really, guys? What a waste. And stay down. Oh, you moron. Really, guys? And stay down.
いらっしゃいませ。 ありがとうございます。
So, you're recommending an appeal? I have that right? Did some new evidence come to light?
Yui Mamiya told us some things, like how you faked your alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. You wanted the sexual battery conviction, right?
Well...
Your goal was to avenge your son and humiliate the law on a grand scale.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ahara-san, we have a much better grasp of the situation than you think.
And what exactly have you grasped?
Like Yagami-san just said, you're innocent, as far as the harassment goes. As your lawyer, I'll file for an appeal, and we'll make sure the world knows it.
Thanks, but no. I'm scum of the earth. A pervert. The prosecution and the judge made that very clear in the verdict.
On the day of the crime, October 7th, at around 6:30 a.m., you were in Ijincho, not Tokyo.
Baloney. I was relaxing at home.
Except that you weren't.
Oh?
You wanted to give the man who pushed your son to suicide the beating of a lifetime. And you'd miss out on that opportunity if you were at home, which is why you were in Ijincho instead. Isn't that right? You and Kawana's former student staked out Mikoshiba's house until he left. Then you dragged your prey into a car and brought him to an abandoned building in Ijincho, which would later become a murder scene. Every bone on Mikoshiba's fingers was broken. Remembering how he pushed Toshiro-kun to his death, it's no wonder you'd go that far. You tortured Mikoshiba without a shred of remorse. You inflicted no small amount of pain and terror. There's no way you weren't there, and I'd put my money on that.
And then...
You need the whole play-by-play? Even though you already know it?
Oh, not at all. I'm just fascinated by this outrageous little story.
As for what you did next after beating Mikoshiba...
That's quite a home video.
Without leaving anything on Mikoshiba's body that could be traced back to you, you slit his throat. Estimated time of death was around 7:30 a.m. on October 7th. You tossed the bloody coat and made your way to Ikebukuro Station, where Yui Mamiya was waiting.
Are you sure? I was at Ikebukuro by 7:30 a.m. Would have been impossible for me to kill Mikoshiba and Ijincho.
The person in the security camera footage in Ikebukuro was a double who imitated your likeness. The identity of whom belonged to Jin Kawana, the handyman in Ijincho. Or maybe you know him by a different name. Former high school teacher Yu Kitakata. So which name did he give you?
I don't know who you're talking about.
With Kawana in view of the security camera, you met up with Yui Mamiya at Ikebukuro first. That's where you touched the undergarments she had prepared. The police would later discover the trace evidence on your hands and pin the groping on you. Then you made your way to Shinjuku Station. After that, Mamiya and Kawana acted out the groping as they arrived at Shinjuku Station. Kawana jumped out of the train and Mamiya chased after him. And then, in the smallest of blind spots in a station absolutely packed with cameras, you were waiting for Kawana, who looked just like you. With the two of you matching, you were able to swap places in that huge crowd without anyone noticing. Kawana handed you the transit card used to pass the ticket gate. Just one piece of hard evidence that places you in Ikebukuro at 7:43 a.m. And right after the swap, Mamiya started calling for help. After that, well, we've all seen how the news reported it. You were caught in a public place with plenty of witnesses.
An active duty police officer arrested for sexual battery. The public outcry was very clear. As a result, despite it being your first offense, you were actually tried and convicted. The consensus is that it was a fitting punishment for someone so heinous. Even as your lawyer, I felt the same.
Have some confidence in yourself, Shirosaki-sensei. The prosecution, the judge, and a lawyer like you all laid out the evidence in court and found me guilty. I'm in no position to doubt you. And I've long accepted the ruling that Toshiro was never bullied. There's nothing I can do but abide by the rule of law. Right? That's all I can do, right?
I know what you're trying to say. You carried out the justice that the courts wouldn't, right?
Everything my son went through was passed off like it never even happened. School, the teachers, and yes, the court. They all dismissed the reason he died.
That's when Kawana came in the picture, telling you Toshiro-kun had been bullied. But was it Kawana's words that suddenly made you want to kill Mikoshiba? Because all of his fingers were broken while he was still alive. Was that really all just your pent-up rage?
What do you have to say, Ihara-san?
Posts on the internet specifically named Mikoshiba as Toshiro-kun's bully. Is that why you did it?
Actually, Yagami-san, Mikoshiba wasn't the only... He couldn't have narrowed down his target.
I guess that was the case, huh? Did Toshiro-kun ever tell you about the bullying himself?
My son never confided in me about any of that.
Then how did you know there was bullying going on? Why else would you murder Mikoshiba in cold blood? Was Sawa-sensei the one who told you the truth? She was the only person Toshiro-kun confided in. You had to have heard it from her, right?
Nearly hit the nail on the head, as they say.
Nearly?
After my trial, she confessed she knew about the bullying. But only to her old teacher over the phone. She had no idea she was being recorded.
What?
Kuwana-san let me listen to that recording where I learned Sawa-sensei had been muzzled by both the homeroom teacher and the lawyer. That was the proof of Toshiro's bullying I'd wanted all throughout the trial. After hearing Sawa-sensei's words, I finally understood. They pushed my boy over the edge.
Was there no other evidence of the bullying? Like a diary of Toshiro-kun's or something of the sort?
Nothing. Toshiro never talked to me or my wife about the bullying. And that was probably all my fault. He was bullied in middle school, too. Kids would throw his pencil case around or hide his books. When I heard about it, I chewed him out. They walk all over you because you're weak. Grow spine!
I take it that was the wrong approach.
Yeah. I can't imagine how much courage it took for him to come forward about his suffering. I'm sure he felt ashamed about it. And I should have listened when he pleaded for help. I should have told him I was proud of his bravery. But instead, I pushed him away. And in the end, Toshiro tried to make sure he never showed weakness to us again, no matter how much pain he was in. He went to a private school out in Yokohama because he hated living with me. But in the end, he still suffered.
And that's why you didn't hesitate to unleash hell on Mikoshiba.
If you say so.
So the first time Kawana showed up was when he let you listen to the phone call with Sawa-sensei, right?
Yes. He approached me and asked me if I still wanted justice for my son. I was in uniform when he came to me, too. Very bold. But it paid off. I owe him a debt of gratitude. He reassured me he had already taken care of multiple individuals like Mikoshiba, and that he'd urged other families to avenge the children they lost to bullying. He'd tell them that simply being branded a bully wasn't enough. He promised to deliver real justice.
If justice can be served at one's own discretion, laws would cease to serve their function. If the law isn't fair to everyone, no one will obey it. The law is only able to help the powerless because it can't be swayed by money, force, or anything else.
Then tell me, what's the solution when the law fails to punish someone who laughs in its face? To overlook those the law won't judge is to abandon those the law couldn't protect.
To render justice with confidence, you require sufficient evidence.
Some of the victims' families refused Kawana's offer of revenge, telling him it would be unforgivable. But even after rejecting his offer, not a one reported Kawana-san to the police. Do you understand what that implies? Whether you follow through with revenge or not, Kawana-san presents a solution that resonates with people. Being that the law is unfair and imperfect. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not. But we're fighting to make it as fair as we can. Laws have to change until they are perfect.
They don't change fast enough. Toshiro's death was murder by another name. Yet Hiromi Kushiba walked free. He even got to enroll in a teaching program as a student teacher. Someone like him? It's insane! I'd die of old age before the law was ever written to be fair enough. For Toshiro's sake, I can't turn a blind eye to a world where the Mikoshibas can live without consequence. Tell me, what alternative was there to getting blood on my hands? I didn't have any other choice.
Yagami-san, did he just...
This is the first time you've admitted to killing Mikoshiba.
You really did your research, unlike those useless cops. Kawana-san's plan was impressive, almost airtight. I didn't expect it to be unraveled so quickly.
I just got lucky. There was some dirt on Yui Mamiya that Kawana could have used against her. If we hadn't found it, there's no way we would have gotten her to talk.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, but I'm under no obligation to tell you.
Ahara-san, you'll be sent to prison as a sex offender as it stands.
Of course. Just as I planned. The charges will be confirmed, and I'll be convicted. As for the police and the prosecution, they wouldn't be able to admit they made a mistake. I could scream, "I killed Mikoshiba" at the top of my lungs. And it wouldn't matter.
Are you saying you intend to admit to the murder after you're released?
Everyone's seen the video of me killing Mikoshiba by now. It's obviously authentic, but the prosecution and the police are saying it's fake. They need it to be fake. Even if I do confess, they'll sweep it under the rug.
They wouldn't.
No, that's not beneath them. But I take it how they react doesn't really matter to you. All you want is to humiliate the law, don't you? The same system that determined Toshiro-kun's incident didn't happen.
It seems you're starting to understand, Yagami-san. If the prosecution wanted to charge me for Mikoshiba's murder, then they'd have to retract the battery verdict. And that would mean admitting to a massive blunder by the court at the hands of a criminal. It would be chaos. Despite knowing who murdered Mikoshiba, no one would know what to make of the case. Wouldn't that just be wonderful?
I hear you. And I even get why you'd feel pretty proud of accomplishing that.
Do you?
But in this case, you guys pretty much grabbed the tiger by the tail.
What tiger's tail?
Someone's issuing orders to the thugs in Kamurocho from behind the scenes. He's the tiger in this case. And they've been closing in on your partner, Kawana. And Sawa-sensei got in their path. I'm sure you get the newspaper in here, right? You know, don't you? Sawa-sensei was killed after the thugs broke into her home. All because she got involved with Kawana.
I'm aware she was killed, but this is the first I'm hearing of the reason why. And by thugs, you mean RK?
Yeah, but we don't know why they're going after Kawana. Any ideas?
No way I'd know.
You think it could be because she got mixed up in your deadly little game?
Excuse me?
That's what getting away with murder really looks like. The more you perpetuate the lie, the greater the rift you create. And then, the unthinkable happens. Kawana killed others besides Mikoshiba. You said so yourself. That's what brought the angry tiger into play. And if Sawa-sensei ended up paying for that instead, then how can you begin to believe your vengeance is fair?
Because she gave false testimony. She lied in court to say Toshiro was never bullied.
She couldn't name Mikoshiba, who was a minor at the time, without evidence. What's more, she was haunted by her testimony, always second-guessing if she did the right thing. But now she's been killed. Somehow that's acceptable to you? I'm gonna clear up what happened to Sawa-sensei, just like you did for Toshiro-kun.
How?
By going public with everything you and Kawana did. The first step is to appeal the sexual battery and undo this whole lie.
You never groped Yui Mamiya. That's one crime you're innocent of, Ehara-san. The court's verdict was incorrect. So please give us the chance to appeal. We can prove your innocence.
What on earth would I get out of that?
You get to humiliate the court again. Besides, what are you gonna do for the next half a year in a cell?
Fine. Do what you want. But just know this.
Yes?
I have no intention of admitting to killing Mikoshiba in court. Is your appeal still worth a damn?
We won't know till we try. Let's go, Sari-san. We have client approval to proceed with the appeal. And we better act fast.
Yes, agreed.
Yagami-san. Sawa-sensei's death isn't on me. Even if I have grabbed the tiger by the tail. That doesn't mean I killed her.
By that logic, you may as well admit that Mikoshiba didn't kill Toshiro-kun. You can't have it both ways. Listen to me. Everything about you, about Kawana, about why Sawa-sensei had to die, we're gonna expose all of it. That's the only thing left we can do for her.
I'm going to fill Genda-sensei in on what happened. Why don't you head over to the office?
Sure thing.